Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib Open Mic. The link's in the right-hand side. With the new constraints associated with StreamYard, we can only have 6 people live at a time. We can hold up to 10, and I'm going to jumble people back and forth, juggle people back and forth, whichever. And we're going to talk about VXP weekend, the holy mess that they've turned the FM into, and whatnot. But let me go ahead and introduce everybody from top to bottom. Aussie,
Good morning, everybody.
Lady Cat,
Hello.
Bland Jeff, poor little avatar.
Poor little blank avatar.
Yeah, you can't afford an avatar.
Yeah, he hasn't paid enough gold.
And Ben,
Hello.
and Two Doors without his 2 doors around. So it's a little confusing for so many people.
I am light, do not juggle me.
Yes.
Actually, I'd probably be good for juggling, I'm light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's you don't have. I've seen some people try to juggle bowling balls, but those aren't doesn't work out well. But and this is Hefe, and again, the link's there, but we don't have room for everybody at one time because of the changes that YouTube and Hangouts on the Air have had. But I'm going to try and juggle people in some haphazard manner. But let's start with VXP weekend. As you'll see right there, it's the 120 Siege Garrison, which looks, or is it Siege? Is it Garrett Siege? Barracks?
Siege.
What?
Should be siege, right?
I said
Siege.
Siege. The last word is the one I'm like, because they use the same artwork for the 125s and 31s and whatnot.
Oh,
And
that's true. They do.
yeah. I'm glad they don't have the same artwork and the same numbers.
Siege Battleground.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but art department's our favorite department. What happened?
I guess they're not. I'm gonna let a few of them off. I don't know. They're not incorporating new art into the game at this point. It appears. Besides the wallpapers,
Do we know?
papers.
Do we know flavor-wise who our opponents are in this next cycle?
I think these are the Legion colors, aren't they?
Yeah, but like, has it been established who we're fighting in the siege cycle?
Who we're fighting besides Legion? I'm assuming it's Legion by looking at this stuff. Is that the question, or?
I mean, yeah, I just don't know what faction we're fighting. I know the top end garrison targets are Legion targets by their color scheme.
Yeah.
But like, are we fighting the Legion here too? Because I don't like the idea of, again, the targets looking so similar. It's like the Drac Mega Armadas with the assault and the Drac things when they were skirmish. It was kind of difficult to determine exactly what you wanted to hit.
Yeah, I think we'll get a little in because there's some a little flavor they threw into this one because this is the first time, as you'll see, that we're going to need to have countermeasures for a siege target, and we only have 6 weapon slots, which I think is pretty unique. I don't think we've ever had 6 weapon slots in the last 4 years, where we're also asked to have.
We needed sprints on our Buccaneers, didn't we? Our Bucks and our Hydras,
Yes,
sprints
we
or
did.
tridents. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's what they did the. Yeah. Okay. So that was a couple of years ago, but we didn't have 6 weapon slots, did we? Did we have 8?
And
Okay.
we got silent. Hang on a minute. Give me a sec.
Okay. Can you guys not hear me? Who got silent?
I can hear you.
No, we all went silent.
What? What are you talking about?
We all got quiet because we didn't know the answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was 8 or 10, 8 or 10 depending on the ship, and I'm an idiot and forgot to unmute.
That's okay.
Okay.
I think it's 8 or 10. I don't have the game.
Okay.
I can't check, but I think that's what it was.
I was more thinking the 6 weapon slots that we have on our Dragoons. But let me run through this real
Yeah.
quickly.
Okay, sorry, there was 8. 8 on a Hydra.
Okay, there we go. So we have 2 extra ones for the countermeasures, but 6 is unusual. But let me run quickly through this for people that only watch the first couple of minutes of this. You see the ship down at the bottom that's headed. Well, you don't see the ship, but you see the firing range. An easy way to get VXP is to go in, head directly for that wall, hug that wall, and just take out these two. It may take you forever, but if you hug the wall and don't sit on top of them, they have firing ranges, directional firing ranges. They're very short, and they're about 60 to 90 degrees. And just take these two out, and you're going to end up with, if you have a triple salty, right around 130,000. The Dragoon requires 100,000. If you're running 4 ships, you get about 130,000. You need 400,000 for the entire fleet. They're 100,000 each. So just by sitting there and killing these two, letting it wait out. We don't have a retreat button this time. It's a 15 minutes timeout with your silver salty. You can get about 3 of these done, not take any damage. So you're 130, 260, 390, and then go and hit it again without a crew, and you're ranked. That's all you need to do. It may take a little time. You can grind away on the FM at the same time. But as far as some of the things that we've learned here, as far as I can tell, all the ones with white, except for these 2 at the end where you see the big flames coming through, are short range ballistic. And I'm sorry, I don't know if we have the ability to zoom in or how big your screens are. But if you look at that first grouping on the right that has 4 directional turrets, 2 buildings, and then 2 other turrets. One of those turrets is a launcher, and the other one is a UAV. So the UAV creates the potential need for countermeasures in these targets.
I do want to point.
Go ahead.
Want to point out, not needing to repair your ships after this is key, because this is the first week of the FM raid.
Yeah.
And so anything else? I mean, anybody sees in this target? I mean, basically the way it works, if you've seen it live, is these 2 at the far end near the palace or whatever that building is, the OP, fire these long range throwers that you get a little indication are coming in about 3 seconds before, and it's a timing thing. This is a VXP target. We don't know what's going to be in the actual raid targets. But it seems easy enough if you have engines and you take advantage of the accelerate ability and you do decent damage to go in and out and kill some of these short range directional turrets, hide in these little alcoves and whatnot. It doesn't appear, if you have fully built ships, to be all that difficult. So, but besides that, does anybody have much else on or experience with the 120 VXP target?
No, I haven't done it yet.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, Cuttlefish is saying the damage seems to be overwhelmingly radioactive. The thing that I've sort of noticed, if you have some speed to you, is a lot of the radioactive damage appears to be avoidable with speed, that you can run under or avoid a lot of it. I guess we'll learn more as more people do the targets with more fully developed ships. Because the launchers, you can, when I was screwing around, it appeared to, I was basically running under them. The ballistic, I don't even know, but does anybody have any idea what damage the UAV does? That one's sort of curious.
Ballistic.
Does ballistic? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And, most of these short range turrets, I assume, are doing ballistic as well. I never had them hit me.
Yeah, the short range are ballistic. The UAV's ballistic, and obviously the thrower's radio.
Along with the launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, the launcher looks like the Cannibal Wendigo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sprints and gales are the countermeasures that kill the UAVs.
And yeah. Well, missile defense.
Everything.
Well, yeah, everything
kills. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everything. Pretty much all of them kill UAVs, except for some of the PvP ones. But the PvE ones all will shoot it down, and that's sort of a question for people as far as like the sprints. If you're not using a special, I don't know. We'll get into that later because you run into the issue of the mechanics of the stuff that shoots down missiles, where it targeted something once and then will never shoot at it again. And then countermeasures versus anti-missile, where you can add accuracy and whatnot. And then you got things like the Gales, which will keep on shooting at a target until it's dead. So I don't know that we know enough at this point to really recommend one, but the sprint is the best one if you're not going to allocate a special towards countermeasures, maybe. But you only get one shot at them.
But you're only going to be getting hit by one UAV at a time. Is that right?
In this target, if I was fooling around, I was getting hit by two of them.
Okay.
And I had two sprints on my ship, and they weren't ranked. And with one, I couldn't tell that I was taking any damage. With two, I started to take some amount of damage. But my ships had zero. I didn't have any rank. I was just trying to figure out the target at that point.
Okay.
So the Gales, even on U8, because I was only ever thinking about mortars, because they continuously shoot at mortars no matter what. So they do the same with the UAVs. They will continuously fire at them until they kill them.
That's the mechanism.
Unless they hit your ship, obviously. Once they hit your ship, it's too late.
Yeah, that's the mechanism of the weapon, not the target, as far as the way it was explained to us when they did the big turnover towards the end of G.D. Rakin's end of his era. They did the countermeasure change, and they redid a few things, and then they also explained how they were all going to work at that point. And in theory, the Gales should continue to retarget the same target as long as they have sufficient projectile speed to get to the target and whatnot. And in that point, you sort of need a countermeasure special that that extends the range, and then something else that deals with projectile speed. So,
okay, all right.
Should we go to BP next week? It's not that exciting. Just one click. Because I think most people after this, because VXP weekend seems pretty simple, that we should probably go on to whatever's going on with the FM. Monday of next week, we should expect update notes, which supports Bounty 23, and again 4 TLCs. And then we have a CM diary. Yeah. And Kicksai replica bases and King and Nexus. The one thing that I keep on, we saw last time, and they seem emboldened with it, is with the Kicksai replica bases, they wanted to throw in fleets. And I'm still curious if they're going to keep on trying to do that. So
they do. I won't.
So is Bounty going to be a bounty, or is it going to be shipwrecks?
Yes.
I mean, we're going to hit bases for Bounty and shipwrecks and Kicksai replica bases and King of the Nexus.
It calls it Bounty 23, so I guess there is going to be PvP base hitting, because Bounty 23 includes new content in the prize store. Yay.
Shipwrecks.
featuring shipwrecks and the King of the Nexus. Briefly, I don't know if there's PVE or PvP base hitting in this or not. Is it not really bounty, but it's shipwrecks?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Kings of the Nexus.
We need some clarification on that.
Yeah.
Let's not wait till Monday to find out.
Well, we probably have to wait till Tuesday, actually.
Probably.
Okay.
Whatever it is begins on the 23rd, 28th.
28th, yes. Yeah, and maybe to think bounty is just a better name than shipwrecks. I'm not certain. But we can speculate all we want about that. What does everybody think of is going on with the FM and then the FM change that occurred last night? We talked about this on Wednesday. They have multiplied the amount of points per prizes by 10 times. We've gone from 2.5 million to 25 million for each one of the top prizes. And we have a new target that accomplishes that by having to hit actually fewer targets. And players saw from the very beginning that you could send in subs, Fangtooth in particular, and you could use them in multiple ways. They didn't. None of the turrets or ships put out any submerged damage, and so you could do things like clearing out the ships, creating decoys, and having them just fire at the subs while everything else was going on. And then they said, "Well, we're going to change some things." Didn't really specify what until like 45 minutes after they did it. And basically meant if you sent your Fangtooth in there and it came in range of anything, they would nuke you. They would just, you would die. So, I don't know. Did anybody else run into that problem?
I got lucky and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the announcement that I saw on Discord, they were going to change it to not allow any non-garrison fleets in there. At least that's what I got out of that message. That's how I interpreted it. So
Okay.
I
can read it out loud. Captains, 131s are being adjusted to close a design flaw that allowed non-garrison halls to complete the target. We apologize for the interruption this causes to gameplay. The initial fault in the target is on us. Good luck with the remainder of the FM. And this was posted at 6 o'clock my time, East Coast.
and about 8 o'clock East Coast time, I tried it. I just tried my fangs to see if they'd fixed it yet. The fangs went in the target just fine. And then I was able to sub out the ships.
The 125 is the same way. You cannot go in with your fangs. They get hit. And Hefe, for the weapon slots, the ERADs had 6 weapon slots.
Yeah, but we didn't have countermeasures on them.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, that was the point I'm trying to make as far as 6 weapon slots and the requirement for countermeasures is unique, I think, in the last several years. That combination is what I'm trying to get across.
Okay.
And but then they made this change around 8:30, 8:45, and then we got a post at 9:35. Pirates, please note a couple of changes to the FM. The 131 target design flaw has been fixed, and this target will now have submerged damage. So yeah, Cuddle. I got 8.5 hours of damage. I only had 4 in the flag in there. So yeah, that was unexpected and Yeah, if you filed a ticket, they acted like it was your fault. You were supposed to know. You know?
They shouldn't let a fleet in, especially in this instance, the fangs. They shouldn't have let anybody take the fangs in if they were going to change the target.
Well, to make this initial change so soon after they dropped the target, they could have done that, or at the very least, put a message above the game and then do it an hour later. Not announce it 45 minutes later in Discord on the forums and never put a message in the game.
Yeah.
That part I wasn't happy with.
I wasn't happy with how they made the change and then the timing of announcing it.
Yeah.
Or them saying we were exploiting the target.
How are we exploiting it? How many FMs have we been able to do this on? We've always been able to sub out ships. Well, maybe not always, but we have.
Yeah, it was a rookie mistake on their side.
Yeah, but it's something that the players know has been possible in the past.
Yeah,
so
we could do it with the 120s and 121s. So
yeah, so why couldn't you do it here too?
That's the thing. The players knew about it. The designers did not, because they have not been around long enough or know the game well enough to stop that stuff to begin with.
And they have to understand that part of the strategy and the fun of this game has been learning ways to do a target. They call it an exploit, but that's part of the game, is for us to find those strategies. We don't think of it as exploits. We think of it as, oh, great, this special will do something amazing. Let me use this instead.
Well, what are they going to do now with this VXP target? They're going to say, oh, we're all exploiting those two little turrets on the left. What are they going to do next? Go and stick another turret there to stop you from doing that? It's the same thing. It's no different. It's no different, is it?
Well, I'm just wondering what sort of testing is going on in order to allow this to come out and then immediately change it. Was there no testing, or what was going on there as far as they're just testing with people that just learn how to play the game, or people that wanted to take advantage of being in a test server? I don't know.
They should let us normal people test things. I say normal people. You know what I mean.
Hey,
hang on. Who are you calling normal? Stop that.
Hey. You had the opportunity yesterday and you didn't like it.
What? To be normal?
You got to test the target.
What?
Yesterday.
Oh. Well.
Yeah,
but I'd rather test it on a test server with their gold.
Yeah. But you had your opportunity to test it.
Yeah,
the whole player base got an opportunity to test the target.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Well.
Okay, should we go on to the larger issue of it appears that players are taking, I don't know, some people that might have known about stuff beforehand or taking a little over an hour. Some people are taking 2.5 to 3 hours. Some people are taking 5 hours to hit the 131 target, which does give you 16.6 times the point of the 120. So if you can do them efficiently or right before bedtime, there might be reasons to hit them.
Yeah, I agree with what Lego said.
Oh. What did he say? I missed it.
He said that the diversity of the ability for players to uniquely find a way to do these targets using what Kixeye has given us is a major reason I fell in love with the game.
Yep.
There you go. I knew Hefe would do that. I mean, and that's true. That's part of the enjoyment is finding those.
Mm.
I don't want to call them tricks. I don't know what you really call it.
It's strategy.
It's
Exploit.
It's
It's
not
exactly
an
what it is.
exploit.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
well,
strategy.
it is strategy. That's what this game is based on. They didn't hand feed us the builds. We had to figure out some of these strategic ways to use specials and guns and weapons, and some people have done amazing at it. And I wish they'd
Yeah.
share their secrets.
Yeah,
But it
because some
doesn't matter.
people use the weirdest stuff on their ships, and it works better than what you should be putting on there.
Exactly. But now we have to take what they give us and build it the way they said. And no matter, they've made it so we can't do a bad build, which I understand is a great thing because I've had some bad builds. But at the same time, they've taken away the ability to do a really good build. So now everybody's sort of average. Do you agree? Disagree?
Well, they've turned the whole game design into predictable damage now instead of like they don't want even 10% of the people to find the answer.
Right.
And even if we didn't share it, they don't seem to want those 10% to exist. And they're going for like they're priority targeting on this target or the other target. It's like, oh, we don't want anybody to not take exactly this many coins damage every time they hit it, no matter how skillful or whatever they are. And that's not a good attitude.
Yeah, that's not a good way either.
Their testing team has basically said, I'm going to run the only fleet that's allowed and the few builds that are viable, and run that and we'll just keep tweaking the target until we get between 30 and 90 minutes damage every time, kind of deal.
Right. I understand why they have to add some limitations, because if you think about the permutations of all the different specials that are out there and how you mix them together and what can stack with what, they're not able to keep up with it anymore. At least I don't think so. There's just too many combinations anymore, probably millions of them. So I understand why they've had to be more restrictive, but I think they went too far.
Yeah, they're kind of taking creativity out of the game is what they're doing, and that was probably 50% of its appeal.
Right, it was. And it's been gone for a while now. It's just, now it's like you're going to get a certain amount of damage no matter what, or you're going to have to coin a certain amount no matter what.
That's why I liked the fog ones. They had a bit of a chess-like strategy to them,
Right.
and they need more targets that have a strategy to them.
Right. And it gives you an ability to do a target without getting all that damage.
I did enjoy the shrouded ones, clouded ones, whatever you want to call it.
I didn't like the time they took, though.
Yeah, that was the only problem. It did take a while. Yeah.
That was hard.
And then they realized we were using the fog a little too effectively, so they started putting ships starting in the fog, and they started going, oh, now we can get them a little bit of minimum damage again. And it's like, oh, come on. You had a nice thing going, and you had to ruin it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's their game, so we have to.
We have to play their game.
Yeah, we have to play their game. But I think some of us.
I've heard that line before from my friends, and I'm like, yeah, but they have to have people playing the game to have their game survive.
Exactly.
So
we are a passionate bunch of pirates.
Who's killing that cat, by the way?
It's not my cat.
It's mine this time. She's like, I haven't had soft food tonight.
It might be their game, but it's my coin, damn it.
Yeah, and they seem to have forgotten that whole premise that happy customers actually spend coins.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting coins somehow, so I think
the biggest problem is it's these big coiners. They don't seem to care. they just do it anyway.
Well, I don't think it's their fault. I can't blame them. I mean, if I could be a big coiner, I would. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that they shouldn't coin, and you know they've got their right to coin. You know, do what they want. I'm just saying that the big coiners will coin no matter what.
Right.
So, you know, the average coiner that goes, oh, no, bugger this, I'm not going to coin it because they're doing this, like me, because I won't, you know, I hardly ever coin a repair. It would have to be a dramatic, you know, I've really stuffed up and I've lost the whole fleet and now I can't do anything for the next 12 hours. Then I might. But on the average raid or whatever else, I will not coin a repair. Like, I haven't coined a repair on a raid or event for I don't know how long.
No, I'll coin repair raids.
Nah.
But I will not
I'll
coin
just use a different fleet. I'll just use a different fleet and do something else.
Yeah. I hate that the FM is turning into a raid. Feels that way. And I know that they say that they want to help us by not making us grind so much. So we've got a higher point target. But damn.
Yeah, but they increase they increase the amount of points you're getting, but then they increase the amount that you've got to pay for each item. So how does that work? They might as well have just left a 131 at 1,000,000 points and lowered the price of the bloody prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they had the time equation figured out for this. But you know what? 2 FMs ago, this was the time equation, right? They've just gone back to their old ways. Remember, we had to imagine
the poor old guy that hasn't got even the Praetorians, and he's using dragons and he's still taking a reasonable amount of damage in a 120. It's going to take him forever to just get 1 armor.
Yeah. I mean, at least they decided to be nice and release the Praetorian in this raid. Yeah. You still need to get 2.5 million, but you still need to build them.
Yeah.
You know, which is going to take weeks. And meanwhile, that's throwing off everything he wants to do associated with the upcoming raid cycle, the siege cycle.
Yeah.
The timing is not good, and I don't like having the siege armors in there. And hopefully the siege armors maybe are available in pillage as well. Maybe that's what they're trying to do, and you get them early.
If they're in pillage, they'll be like 8 million points each. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So you think we're just paying to get them early? Well, it's like the Praetorian one we need now, right? It's still high.
Well, I think they like the price point, but they shouldn't have. Yeah, they should have released. Well, they should have released I think both armors for the Praetorian. This is one of the 2 armors,
right?
And as opposed to releasing this target when we don't have the appropriate armor for it, it's not the best timing.
What do you think the other armor is? I mean, it's only explosive and missile. We've got the D6M, the D7M.
Well, compare the D7M, and the D7M gives you how much survival?
Oh, hang on, I'll have to have a look. Hang on, I've got a child in my arms now all of a sudden.
Because this one gives you 5,000.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
5,000 and 150,000 armor points.
Oh, yeah, only 1,600. Okay.
Yeah.
And 150,000 armor points.
Yeah, so you got about a third of the survival in these ones. That's why I'm assuming that there's probably going to be another one around the corner at some point.
Okay. Just mute myself in case he makes it all.
Okay. But as far as it has interesting impacts on builds as far as these new, despite how they've released them, if you do manage to get the points, you know, at 5,000 each, it is quite interesting how it just completely obliterates to have the current defensive specials we have. Because you're going to get 10,000 of each, and it's like the defensive special is like the low 1,000s. I don't remember the exact number, but you're probably better off putting on a speed special or a damage special or something that allows you to more effectively deal damage as opposed to take damage. I found that interesting for those that can pay for it. And then you compare it to the existing armors, which I think has 720 and 720
Mhm.
folded ferrite. So,
Yeah, Cuddle says he's going to retrofit to a silverfish.
That's going to be my next question. Do you think they'll come out with some sort of folded type for the what's that new ship? Dragoon?
they're breaking new ground here because
Yeah.
this is an 8.5, and that's tier 8 technology. Are they going to come out with a tier 8.5 folded ferrite at some point?
Or
Hmm.
8.75.
Yes, they did have 0.75s back in the day. Yes. I don't know. I mean, we can wait for pillage. I really hope that the works in progress would come out and sort of tell us what we should expect coming in the month or 6 weeks ahead.
Well, we'll get the August CM diary to tell us what's coming up in September. So
the CM diaries aren't as detailed as, at least as far as actual tech that we should expect to receive relative to what came out in the whips.
right.
I don't know. I don't know. Should we go through an old whip? I don't know.
No,
Okay.
that would just make us sad.
Will there be chains too?
Yes. I mean, because I did talk to one of the Kickside people, and they never even heard of the whip. So yesterday, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I could send you. If somebody wants to screen share it, I could send you an example, and I'm like, it tells you what all the technology, or at least the name of the technology is supposed to come out, not all the stats. So at least you know what was about to break.
Right. Do you save your tokens? Do you not save your tokens?
Yeah.
Do you go this direction? Do you go that direction? Yeah. I gave you an idea what was going on, so you knew how to strategize.
Yeah. If nobody wants to screen share it, I put it up on the link in the YouTube chat for people because everybody's afraid to build something at this point.
Do you want me to screen share it?
If you want to. I mean, it's old stuff, and it's not something we want to go through.
Let's not put it on the show. People get confused. They can look at it on their own.
Yeah. But this is what I'm talking about, where we get a sort of step-by-step the name of the technology and a little bit about it, but not a full, we're not getting the blueprints 3 weeks, a month early, but we're getting a general idea. Are we going to get a new engine for this? Are we going to get, are we going to get a new armor special? Are we going to get the X, Y, and Z? And we got that at that point. We stopped getting that.
Do you remember why the whip stopped?
Because they sometime became the reason they gave, and I never really saw it because I wasn't on the forum that much, was the problem that players, they would say things were going to be in the whip and then they didn't show up.
Right. They couldn't meet their commitment.
Players would complain about, but I'm not sure how they got the complaints to them. But
probably on the forum. So they would tell us that something would come out, for example, Bounty 23 on the 28th, and then it didn't happen. So and
then players would complain, yeah.
We'd get mad because they told us it would. But I mean, they do it to us now in smaller ways. It's the same thing. They don't always meet their commitments. They try.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they need to be able to meet their commitments. It's when we see it in writing, we want it to be written in stone. And we expect it to.
Yeah, and an example would be like something that would come out was the fact that they were going to make this massive change in the FM. We didn't find out until the day before.
Right.
Nobody had a chance to plan. Okay, I'm going to put some effort into my Praetorian.
Right. Instead of my suppressor.
Yeah, but we didn't know. We were.
Yeah.
Everybody sort of suspected it was going to come any month now. And I've been suspecting it for a couple months, and it finally did happen, where they changed the economy on it. But they didn't let us know in any way, so players get frustrated and angry because they don't have the information to properly play a strategy game.
And I think we all did anticipate that changes would be coming and there would be new targets. That wasn't the surprise. It was the price changes, the amount of prizes, and the price. That's like where we hit the roof.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Because I've been saying for a while that at some point they're going to differentiate the Praetorians away from the dragons. We just didn't know when it was going to happen and when we should make these decisions.
Right. We're also busy with the raid, with this 2-month cycle. Before it was even on a 3-month cycle, we had to build 2 fleets. And now it's a 2-month cycle, and maybe not 2 fleets, but sort of 2 fleets. And then all these darn upgrades. You have to upgrade too. And that's buying up our shipyards. So we don't have time for everything. And, I know the FM's important. Everyone's always said the FM comes first. But the FM is like...
But that was players, and it was mostly George saying that. Kickside never said that.
No, Kickside never said, but players did. No, and they're right. That's where you get your tokens. That's where you get your tech, or at least that's where you used to. The FM was your catch-up. That's how you stay current. So you had to be able to do the FM. If you missed a raid, hopefully you'd have friends that would help or an ally that would help. Now, if you miss a raid, you can just buy it a couple days later. So that's different too.
Yep. Jeff, you've been quiet tonight. Are you awake?
Yeah, I'm awake.
Okay.
Just taking it all in. Lots of grumpy people about this, but it's really not terrible. I mean, the middle players, it's really screwing them, as somebody said, but this isn't so bad. You hit them 2 a.m. and 2 p.m, and free repair in between, just like we used to.
Yeah.
Well, I can hit them 1 a.m, 1 p.m.
Oh, you better work on that.
It's on my to-do list.
Yeah. But they also introduced this. This is one of the problems that players had before, and they're going to say we're getting too many chores. And they don't quite realize, I think, what that means. At least in my mind, when players say they're getting too many chores, what they mean is you're taxing my dock too much as far as repairing.
Right.
Or you're making me grind and hit 400 targets.
I think it also means that without coins, I can't play the game. I'm done in 10 minutes and I have to log off, and my friends are gone too, and they're forgetting that it's keeping people on the keyboard that keeps the friends together, which the friends are what keeps most of the people in the game. So I think that's they're missing that, and I think that's why people are leaving like mad. Is it's no longer I can get on at whenever I get home from work, and 3 of my friends will be on here, and I can chat with them, and they'll be on for an hour, and we'll have a bit of fun, even if it's just chatting with each other or whatever. But yeah, if you're on for 10 minutes and your ships are dead, like in the raid, even when you're doing the weekly raid, I was just doing every 3 hours. There's no socializing in that. You get on, you kill your ships, and you leave for 3 hours. I think they've lost the equation.
Yeah.
That's what chores to me are. Is you get on here and you're not having fun because it feels like a chore.
Because you have to do it. It's not as much of a choice as they think that it is. You have
Oh
to
yeah,
stay current.
like even these limited specials, you have to get all 2 of them or all 4 of them every
Or
time,
8 of them.
or you don't have a set you need when you need them. So they've actually not just made them a chore, but they've also made it a mandatory chore, like housework.
Exactly. So time when I could be having fun is now spent doing this. And because I play PvE more than I PvP, I'm like chasing chore fleets all the time. I have to spend money to get the next chore fleet, or else I can't do the chores.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll get the 99, party like it's 1999 offer to
Right.
upgrade all of them to U3, which potentially is needed.
Unless it's a suppressor. Yeah.
Yeah, but you never. Yeah, well, that was how much was it? That was it was 50 gold, right?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But,
If it's 1999, you won it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Or you could just wait 2 months and get the fleet given to you for free. All you got to do is upgrade it.
Yeah, and buy do some TLCs and earn the points in the raid.
Or maybe.
But the problem we're having now is, that was with 2 fleets, and they were trying to round out the 2 fleet thing because I guess the assumption is that they're going to give us TLCs, or when assault hits the Praetorian, or assault hits the Saturns hit the pillage, that you're probably going to need the Saturns. If that made any sense. When when Tier 8 assault hits, which is probably going to be this month, would be my guess, and they will drop because they'll drop Siege, because Siege is now our current one. So we're going to drop Siege, and we'll have Garrison and Assault, would be my assumption. So, all right. Do we have much else?
I think we ran it enough. I don't mean to be negative about the game. I still love it, or I still remember what I used to love about it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I love it anymore because it is a chore. It's like a job. I'm not getting chores that I need to get done around the house because I have to do my chores in the game, or else I can't stay current anymore.
After he lost all his hair and put on 50 pounds, yeah. So.
Hey, you notice I paid gold for my icon over there, huh?
Oh, nice, Jeff.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about. Your avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah, his avatar showed up.
Oh, okay.
Cuddle, they said there would be 3 FMs. Didn't they give that?
Yeah, yeah, that's 3.
Yeah. Is that Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting avatar.
That's me on an ATV in Egypt.
Nice.
Yeah. The camel was no longer friends with him.
No, I went motorized. It didn't spit at me.
I see. Okay, let's see.
But it was a lot more dusty, I got to tell you. That's why the mask was and face everything.
Okay.
Yeah, his camel packed up his hump and walked off.
Yeah, I put the link in there in case anybody else would like to join, and we can juggle in and out. So otherwise, I think we'll probably wrap up at some point in the next few minutes. Unless does anybody else have much they want to discuss, or pretty close to winding it down? Oh yeah, I'll start up a hangout for those people that just want to join the the after show, so I don't have to um, juggle in and out with people that want to join. It allows us to have 10 live at one time as opposed to just 6. So,
I have a little something.
okay.
Why is it 1 or 3 people can get away harassing everyone else, but when something is said about it, the person being harassed gets quiet roomed and called a whiny little cunt in Discord?
Yeah, I don't understand the rules of Discord at all anymore. It's beyond confusing what rules they're choosing to enforce at this point, or make up, or I don't know. I mean, it's baffling to me. It's completely baffling to me as far as what's going on there. I don't know. Unless somebody has an answer for it, I personally have no answer for what's going on there.
Coin,
That's not what's going on.
how much they spend on the game.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what's going on there. So I don't know. You guys can talk mildly about it. I need to go smoke a cigarette before I deal with this. So I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Now that's stress.
Well, Discord is not as fun anymore for everybody because there are. I don't want to say bad about anybody, but it's just not fun anymore. You can't really say what you think or feel anymore because you get attacked or feels that way at times. Not always, but at times.
Only when certain people are in there.
Certain people do that. So I don't like to go ask questions anymore because I'm just not comfortable in there anymore. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
Um,
It's turned into a forums.
well, it's like,
When Discord first started, it was great. You could get information, you didn't get harassed, so on. But then certain trolls got in there and made it very toxic. And they get away with it.
yeah, it's tough.
Especially when a certain mod is on.
I'm not going to discuss that either.
Oh, I'm probably going to get banned from Discord if they're listening, but
I'll come on now and I'll ask my questions and then I leave. Sometimes I forget to close Discord or I go talk to my daughter on Discord or do other things on Discord, but I don't sit in Battle Pirates anymore, not like I used to.
right.
And I used to just scroll up and look for the red. So I didn't care what people were saying. I wanted to see what Kixeye was saying, or I'd look for the mods to see what they were saying. And I have to scroll back so many pages now to get to information that it's not worth it to me anymore.
Right.
It used to be a good place for information, and I'm not sure what's a good place for information anymore. I don't think the forums are either. I don't want to scroll through tons of pages in one weekly post to try to look for that red to see somebody at a Kixeye level, provide an answer. It's not that I don't want to read what other people think. I mean, I am interested, but sometimes I just want the information, and I don't want to have to dig for it. That's my opinion.
But I'm done with the Discord combo. It was just frustrating, so.
It's unfortunate because it is replacing the forums as a place to get information and talk about the game. And if it becomes toxic, then we don't have a place.
Right. Well, I mean, it would be fine if people would talk about the game on one channel and do all their other rants and ramblings in another channel, but it doesn't seem to work that way. We all end up in the same channel. So,
Yeah. Well, 99% of what is said in the general chat in Discord should be an off topic. The general chat is supposed to be for Battle Pirates information.
There is an off topic, but they don't take it there.
Right. Right. And they ridicule people that ask legitimate questions. Oh, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I asked when one of the raids was really hard and the number of points I seemed to need was pretty high. They were saying, "Well, come on, quit whining. You don't need everything that's on the list." Like, well, yeah, probably somebody on there that can get everything they want is saying that, of course.
right. Hi, Lack. Shout out.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I just got back. So where are we with this? Did we figure anything out?
No, but
No.
I mean, a lot of people kind of are disgruntled, and we don't know where to go. Like I was saying, where do you go to get information now? You can't find it easily in Discord, and you can't find it easily on the forums. But Cafe, you and the other show are the only two places where people can go. We depend on you.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what the solution is. I don't think they're finding one at this point. In regards to what they should be doing is providing a information conduit to the players, allow us to discuss the game, and feel comfortable to do it. I do recall months and months and months ago that it was a great source of information, and a lot of players would just pop in and be like, just go through and be like, okay, these were some interesting conversations that we saw. I don't think that's any longer the case. And just I think that Ben was bringing up, just the weird application of the rules that appear to be almost random. People can have conspiracy theories about it, but I am assuming there's a dartboard involved, and I'm not completely certain what's going on there, and I don't really know the solution. It's quite frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. Vicky's on. Maybe Vicky, do you have a solution? Oops, I need to. Oops, not talking to the.
If you need to drop me down for now, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, I lost my internet. I come back. I had to walk off. I came back and I'd lost the internet connection for some reason.
Okay.
No, I don't have a solution.
Okay. All right.
It's aggravating to read everything, and you really want to say something, and you really want to tell them to grow up and to grow a pair and to knock it off. But if you do, you end up in a quiet room, and either that or you get booted from Discord altogether.
Yeah. I mean, what happened to me? I think on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday afternoon. It was like 2:00 my time. One of the mods came in to sort of sort out the bullies and the just nonsense that was going on. And I tried to create a reaction with a finger pointing up, like, pay attention to this. And then it appeared, I didn't even realize there was a middle finger emoji. So
Yeah.
But that's funny.
I didn't even know there was one, to be honest. And then, like, 2 messages down, as it was going on, the next person that gives me a middle finger is going to spend 7 days in the quiet room. That's what it said originally. And then the mods can edit whatever they want. So he edits the first person that does this. And, this was like several messages up. And I did get confirmation from the CM that message was in fact edited, but no solution was provided to me. So I'm still in the quiet room for
7 days, a whole week.
not knowing. I have no idea. I mean, it'll be like if I come back at that point. Because I didn't even know. Because I put in finger, like trying to point up. I didn't realize it was point. Colon up colon 2, and I just put finger, and I saw a whole bunch of them, and it looked like the one pointing up.
Right.
And so and I'm most upset with the mod going back and editing what he said, and then also saying I did it afterwards. I did it first, and then he made this rule up. And what the fuck is that? I mean, that's not right.
No.
Correct.
Especially seeing you did it accidentally. I mean, if you're not sure,
Yeah, because I didn't even know who did it. That was the funny part. Because then I put another post that was like, you guys need to watch out, you behave, or else, and I didn't realize I was the one being talked about. Yeah, it was all quite something. So,
oh dear.
Wow. I don't go there very much anymore. I'll pop on, like I said, see if I can find an announcement, or sometimes I put my bug reports in there instead of sending tickets. Especially if I know that they already know, then I confirm it and let them know it's still happening. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Even though I know I'll get gold if I send a ticket, at least a lot of times I do. I still don't send tickets for everything. And I'd rather use the bug channel on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I feel ignored there too. So, and I know they're
Corbin was out. Corbin was out for 2 weeks. Corbin is extremely good. If you have any sort of technical issues that you can't figure out on the forums or through whatever, he's pretty good at researching things, because I also find the directly player expert sometimes to be quite frustrating.
Right. I hear television.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I can make some. Okay, that was you, Vicky. So, you can unmute yourself after you turn the TV off. But no, it's just frustrating because you don't know what the rules are, and I especially didn't like them making up the rules afterwards.
But that's the problem with Kickside, though. They change the rules every 2 seconds to suit themselves. If they don't like something, they just make a rule up.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was a mod. It wasn't Kickside.
Yeah.
It was a player, so player mod.
Yeah, but he's going along with the whole Kickside philosophy.
Yeah.
Really, if it's not working for them, they're going to change it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is at this point. It used to be a great place. There used to be a lot more interaction from the Kickside employees explaining things, which had its good points and bad points, because you had to be on in order to see it, which is a bad point. But there was a lot more information being disseminated to the players, questions getting answered, a greater understanding of the game being provided. Now most of them get on, at least as far as in public, they're basically just going to make jokes with you and whatnot. It's besides the CM will put stuff on announcements, and they'll answer very direct questions in dire times at times, like they need to get stuff out. So yeah. So I don't know. I guess we're probably ready to wrap up on this, or I don't know. Does anybody have anything much else to say?
No, I think we've said enough. Probably too much.
I
Okay,
just think they
we-
need to do something with the points system in the FM for the lower players that
Yeah.
they're going to struggle.
Yeah, these lower players got help in the FM, are helping the raid, and they can get the ships, but they can't get the armor.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, you can have the ship, but don't expect to get any armor on it.
Yeah.
It's not like armor matters that much anymore.
Well,
though.
yeah. the
Yeah,
old
we don't
armor,
know.
but this new armor,
In a raid, it might though.
this
Yeah.
new armor is going to matter.
I just remember my 2 Saturn fleets, theirs and mine, and the upgrades sure didn't make much difference. But
Okay.
I don't. I'd like to have tried it without the armor and see how much the armor contributed. Actually,
Okay, I'm posting the Hangouts for more people that want to join in the after show, but that means I need to end this. So feel welcome to join us there, and we'll discuss.
How you really feel.
Yeah, who's your favorite mod? All sorts of stuff.
Probably get
So,
some good recipes.
So, okay. Well, the link's there, and y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all on Wednesday, if not before. Yes, it's
Okie doke.
Yep. Yes, it is like an after-hours bar party. Yes. So, but again, we'll leave you with that because I'm getting feedback because I have both of them going. So see y'all on Wednesday, and good night, everybody.
Good night.
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 Good night.
Were you just trying to be obnoxious? Because I could